Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly recap from August 19 all the way to August 23rd. For the Wednesdays, the first thing we did on the Wednesdays is that I was saying we're going to continue GTA 5 with the 100% checklist, so we're going to go for that 100%. And the first thing we did was the remainder of the assassination missions for Lester. We did all the investing and stuff, we got all of our characters to about 1.4 to 1.6 billion. And then we started off with doing some stuff for the 100% checklist, which wasn't that much because the assassination missions took quite a lot of time, or better said, investing, because there was a little mixing around of what changed and whatnot. So we started off with some more simple things like the shooting range, playing golf, playing tennis, and we did all the flying lessons. And for the remainder of the stream, we bought the needed properties for Franklin. In my case, I wanted to when I started collecting the space bars, I wanted to have a helicopter of my choice. And that's pretty much everything that's happened on the Wednesdays. As for the Thursdays, the first thing we started off with is doing all the parachute jumps, because that was necessary for the pastimes and hobbies. After we did that, of course, we're going to do more 100% checklist stuff. We started off doing some off-road races, sea races, and the triathlons. With one triathlon being like really long, that thing took me like 28 minutes. It was all just being with the controller like pick, just to keep sprinting and everything. We also did one or two street races, I can't completely remember. But what I did notice, we checked off something that was not supposed to be checked off. And actually we're checked out on Friday. So buddies, we're going to Fridays. For the Fridays, as I just said, I checked out what I checked off wrong, and I had to go back to the shooting range. Because I accidentally ticked off heavy weapons for the shooting training, and I didn't even do that. So I did that, and we moved on to doing more stuffs, which was the airport race for the street racing, and then we did a little Strange and Freaks mission from the Tonya for more towing. Then we slowly started working on collecting all the space parts, with in between when I had to do street races and the Tonya remaining Strange and Freaks mission, so we did that as well. After a little while, pretty much the end of the stream, we finished off the space parts. The last thing we then still did was the remaining final street race, and that was pretty much the end of the hobbies and pastimes, and we also finished up all the Strange and Freaks, no Strange and Freaks, all the hobbies and pastimes, because Strange and Freaks will be finished on the Sundays. But for now, let's move on to Saturday. For Saturdays, we continued our little wonderful game on the Retro Saturdays with Secret of Evermore. We went to the new area of Gothica. We had a little bit of trouble there because I got completely stuck for a bit because I didn't have an Amulet of Annihilation, which we needed to change for a ticket to get into an exhibit. So we had like an hour of walking around trying to find one. After that, we did some marketing, got the Egg of the Chocobo Charm, which gave us an plus 45 health, and an Insect Incense, which made us immune to attacks from spiders and all kinds of mini bugs. After that, we were going to the exhibit, our dog got stolen, and they tried to present it to us with a pig's mask on, trying to fool us, but what happened is the dog got away, it accidentally took part in a pig race, we won, we went inside the castle, got to eat a banquet with the queen. And in the meantime, we had to like, while that happened, we had to go to the under the castle trying to find our way out of an underground maze. At one point, the dog actually found the way out, and it ruined the banquet, with the queen becoming so stupidly angry. She got to turn us into jail, and we had to get escape from that. We got back at the queen and was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I just get so mad when everything goes wrong, and whatnot. We get sent on a mission to the almighty Ebon Keep, which at one point we do get there, and we have to go through this forest, which also took a long time. At one point we get to fight ourselves, which is like some sort of a black shape-shifting thing, which was very weird to fight. After that we had to go through a maze again of the forest to fight a dragon, and we actually end up into Ebon Keep after we come to the sewers, and we actually find in a little reference to this guy called Cecil, which is a reference to, if you know him from Final Fantasy IV, Cecil the Dark Knight, of course in his paladin form, selling his weapons and whatnot. You have to go inside the Cappy Castle, which is actually not that big. We had to fight this boss called the Veronator, which is just like a giant rat spamming spells. It actually took us a while for us to beat him, because we had to level up Crush like rapidly to make it strong enough for it to kill him without a problem. Then after that we actually fight the real version of the queen, because the former queen is apparently a copycat, an imposter, which actually does a lot of things. So at one point we just get back to the Ivory Tower, and we actually beat these puppets and this other boss called Mongola. And the queen is like, okay, I'm gonna kill you now. So he jumps up and she pretty much disappears. And then we get to go back to this mechanical Tinkle. And he makes us collect a few things from the older areas. From the prehistoric area, you got to collect a gear and a gouge. And if you remember those from day 2, the diamond dog eyes from antique era. And that's where we first quit off, and Roland was getting ready to go into space. Saturday, that has been the most busy day of the week. We started going back to Sunday, and I decided to do some more GTA and finish off that 100% for GTA. So I started off with collecting all the 50 ladder scraps, which took a long time, because we did a very long stream on the day, by the way. Then after that, we find out this, the killer of this Leonora person was killed by Peter Dreyfus. And when we had to kill him, we finished off our last Strangers of Freaks mission of that list, giving us the miscellaneous quest to leave over. The few things we had left, which was pretty easy to do, which was 8 knife flights. Then we had to go 28 more, I believe, under a bridge. Then we did that by following up by 25 stun jumps, which was pretty much all the hardest thing on that day. And then, well, we finished off with the 100% checklist with doing a booty call with the stripper Juliet. And now we had a 100% complete. I did a few little remainder things, like buying all the properties that were left. I did a random event for Tinkle that gave a 33% profit, giving all characters 1.9 to 2.1 billion in cash. The last thing we did on the stream was going to look for that UFO we so hardly worked on. And that's pretty much how we ended up with the week. The week, I will be back tomorrow. I've got myself 2 neat little games, which are the following 2, and I'm gonna be still deciding what to play. I'm slowly heading towards that Kingdom Hearts, because I love Kingdom Hearts. But we'll be seeing that. As for the next Retro Saturdays, with a little luck, I might be able to finish off Secret of Evermore, and we will be continuing a new game. I'm highly considering to play Illusion of Gaia, which is a very awesome game as well. And yeah, that's pretty much anything that has happened for this week. So, as always, if you liked, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more or would like to see more, feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you do want to see me live on Twitch, I suggest you to go look over here. Click it and click that damn follow button, and you will get a notification when I go live. So that's it. This is my Red Knoss, and I'm out. And I'll see you guys next week.